losers will attempt to pass themselves off as nice guys. And I mean the infantile dependent types. I'm not infantile and dependent, I'm nice. So some nice guys are competent, but all infantile losers, except those who've fallen completely off the edge of the world and are resentful beyond belief, they're going to pass themselves off as nice guys. And that's...
Jordan Peterson's hilarious. Some nice guys are competent. Oh, really? So most of the competent men out there are not nice? Only some? This is where... man, I don't know. This is where pop culture goes wrong, you know? This whole notion of, oh, he's a nice guy. All that really is, the whole nice guy thing, all that really is women making up lies because they don't want nice guys until it's time to settle down. Don't get me wrong, women want nice guys. They just don't want the nice guy until it's time to settle down. So they make up these lies where, like, nice guys aren't really nice, they're manipulators. Which is like, what do you mean? So every man being nice is a manipulator? I think that just comes from very little trust in the world and very little love in the world anymore. I think that just comes from the world getting more evil. I think that just comes from, you know, things not being as good as they used to be. I think that we used to have, when I say used to, I mean there was a period of time, and I always talk about this, and you could just say this is my little nostalgia trip or my little fantasy trip or whatever, but I think there was a period of time for about 20 or 30 years in America, from like 1950s to 1980s somewhere, where there was a nice little bubble where people were really good to each other. And I'm not saying there wasn't racism, I'm not saying there wasn't messed up stuff, I'm just saying culturally in America there was a very, and there are some cultures that are very kind, like I would say the Japanese are very cordial to each other. I think it's part of their culture. I would say the Canadians are very kind. I think it's part of their culture. That's a wonderful thing. If you can build up a culture of love and kindness. Now, this is just more nuanced. Like, it has to be more nuanced, because the world is evil. Don't get me wrong. The world is evil. There's no utopian society. That's not, there never was and there never will be. It's not what I'm saying per se. I'm just saying, I mean, we you know, we'd all like that, but I believe there are cities and cultures and areas where there's a lot of very nice people. Okay, and I think there were periods of time where it can happen, where there's pockets of very good things happening, of very good cultures, etc. And then there's the opposite. There's time periods that are just horribly evil, where horrible messed up things have happened. And then in general, you've got a little bit of both. You'll come across people who are very nice, and then you'll come across people who are very messed up and mean or evil, or, you know, or just whatever, you know, not kind, right? You'll get a lot of both. But I think that it's also culturally, you know, I've lived in a city where people were very happy to some degree, and I think people were very kind to some good degree. And then I moved to a different city where there was a difference in the culture and the people. The people were very insulated. The people were very rude and standoffish and not cordial. I've been in those experiences, so this is how I know that's true. This is how I know that a lot of it is just cultural. A lot of it is just the area that you're raised in. This is why when people are like, oh, you live in that area, oh, that's a bad area, like, well, what do they mean by that? They mean the people in that area are not good people. They mean that there's, you know, messed up people, you know. So it's such a black and white thing to be like, oh, you're a nice guy, therefore you're weak, or you're a nice guy, therefore you're a manipulator. This is why I have problems with Jordan Peterson. And the reason why I even have to make these videos, I don't have to, but the reason why I even want to make these videos is because he props himself up, he positions himself as an advocate for men. Well, you need checks and balances if you're going to do that. You need somebody to come along and be like, all right, this is right, this is not right. You know, you need to be audited if you have such a big following, right? You need checks and balances. We all do. There's nothing wrong with being nice, man. There's nothing wrong with being a good person. The problem, the real problem with that is that it's taken for weakness. Kindness is taken for weakness. Because we live in a brutal world. Because we live in a evil, messed up world. And if women are going to act animalistic, and again, this is the problem that I have with Jordan Peterson, is that he's authoritarian and he's got daddy issues. Andrew Tate has mommy issues. Jordan Peterson has daddy issues. Meaning he's got authority problems. This is the problem with authoritarians, is they like to assert their authority onto others. They think, hey, I picked myself up from my bootstraps, why don't you? And it just doesn't always work. It's just not the way life really is, man. And he doesn't criticize women. He doesn't. There's nothing wrong with being nice, and women want nice guys. They just want nice guys at the end of the road after they're done messing around with the bad boys. Then they want the nice guys. Alpha fucks beta bucks. Excuse my French. Alpha fucks beta bucks. Meaning she wants to go have fun with the bad boys, and then later on she wants to settle down with the nice guys. This is what all women want. They don't just outright choose the nice guys, so they have to come up with a reason for that. They have to come up with an excuse for that. Oh, he wasn't really a nice guy. So much of what women do, and they're hive-minded. Women are hive-minded. So much of what women do is just subterfuge. It's just a smokescreen, right? So much of what women do is just it's just a veneer of the truth. Oh, I did that, and so much of it is dodging accountability. It's blame shifting. Oh, I did this because men are this way, or, men, that's why I'm the way I am. Nice guys are fine. There's nothing wrong with being a nice guy. Just because you're nice, it doesn't mean you're weak. I love nice people. Please be nice. Be kind. Just because you're nice doesn't mean you can't be assertive. Now, with that said, are there nice guys who are being nice because they're manipulators? Yes. Are there people who pretend to be nice so they can get things from others? Absolutely. And you have to know the difference. You have to be able to tell when somebody's being genuine or when somebody's being manipulative. And I think as human beings, we have that ability. I think it's innate. We have an innate ability to, a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times, to decipher genuineness from bullshit. I think we do. I think we have gifts of perception. Human beings have, not everyone, obviously there's some very dull, gullible people out there, but we've got perception, we've got intuition. A lot of times we can tell. A lot of times, like, oh, I don't like so-and-so, he just seems so fake. Well, what does that mean? It's just there's an incongruence there. If you study, like, pickup artistry game for men, seduction, right? How to be more attractive. Part of it is congruence. They teach you congruence. They teach you how to be congruent, meaning don't be fake, right? Don't come across one way, but you're actually a different way, because women can pick up on that because they've got intuition. Well, all humans have intuition. So we can tell if somebody's being genuinely nice or not. The problem with authoritarians is they come along and they're like, you have to be stern. And see, all of these concepts, and this is why he's picked this up, this nice guy concept, but really the nice guy, the attack on the nice guys, I believe stems from women. I believe it's a smokescreen. It's the old okey doke or whatever it's called. It's deflection. It's project. It's not projection. It's deflection. They're trying to deflect away from the fact that they don't want to be. They want to chase bad boys. They don't want nice guys when they're younger, so they deflect off onto nice guys. Oh, nice guys aren't really nice. That's how I can get out of this. Blame men, right? It's never me. It's never that I need to be accountable. It's never the fact that somebody needs to come along and tell me to stop being a whore, to stop being a slut. No. It's those nice guys. They've manipulated me, and so therefore that's why I'm chasing the bad boys, because they're more genuine. Yeah, right. They're just users. You like users. You're attracted to men who want to use you. You're attracted to manipulators. Okay, fine. But say that. Just admit it. Most women won't, so they attack the nice guy. And that's not fair to the nice guy. And, if there is a weakness in the nice guy, it's that he's vulnerable. You kind of, to some degree, have to be vulnerable to be nice. And there's nothing wrong with that. Vulnerability is good in that context. If you're being kind to somebody, yeah, you're kind of opening yourself up a little bit. But it's good, because that's part of being human. It's good to open yourself up and be vulnerable a little bit to people in order to just show forth friendship and cordiality and humanity. But because it's such an evil world, people are, which is understandable. You don't want to get taken advantage of, right? Kindness can be taken advantage of. Absolutely, I think that's true, and it does, and it is, and it will be. It's part of it. It's all part of it. Anyway, let's finish this up real quick.
Major problem, because what woman in her right mind wants a dependent man? You might as well just have a child, right?
So how does niceness equate to dependence? Right? How does niceness equate to dependence? And I'm not even getting into the fact that Jordan Peterson, is a Bible touter, which if you're a Bible touter and you're not going to, talk about mercy and love and peace and turning the other cheek and helping your neighbor, the Good Samaritan, all these stories. I mean, it's like, how can you read the Bible and not have compassion on your fellow human being? But just sort of express this, authoritarian concepts, right? Anyway, let's finish this up.
least the child has an excuse.
And I think this is so important because I get tired of guys saying, I'm a nice guy. I'm like, really? You out doing charity work every week? You're down at the church every week putting together the kids' camp? Because I bet if you were doing that, women would find you attractive.
These guys are just dicks, man. These guys are... Oh, so only a nice guy. I actually like the comments on this. I read the comments on this, but you're only a nice guy if you're doing charity work. You're only a nice guy if you're... That to me, I don't know. That sounds actually genuine. You can be a nice guy and just not do anything and not do any charity work. You can still be kind. What even is a nice guy? Let's define it. What does it mean? You know, it's just a cordial person. It's just a kind person. I think Joe Rogan is a good example of a nice guy. Joe Rogan is not weak, but he's a nice man. When you listen to him, he's very calm, peaceful, cordial, kind, thoughtful, seemingly caring. I think he's a great guy, and you don't want to get on his bad side. You know, the guy can do karate, the guy can do martial arts, right? So niceness, we as a society, we got to stop equating niceness with weakness, man. I don't respect this guy, and I don't respect Jordan Peterson a lot of times. I don't know, to say things like that. Let's see some of these comments. I like some of these comments. Might have to let's see some of these comments here. This is what I'm married to. Yeah, I don't know, man. Women, I think, yeah. I mean, for me, like, I appreciate peaceful people. I appreciate nice people. But I think probably because I've been around dysfunction, maybe. And so and I've seen, I don't like prideful people. I don't like violent people. I don't like selfish people. And a lot of times I see, for some reason, women do. It excites them. You know, that's why women like gangbangers. That's why they like drug dealers. That's why it's just, it excites them. I think there's a power behind it. They think there's power behind that. But to me, it's volatile. It's dangerous. But women like that. They like danger. I don't know, man. Let's see what this person says. God darn it. Gosh darn it. Hit the wrong button and you're all fucked up. This person says, nice guys being down at the church putting the kid in camp got nothing to do with being nice. Being nice is knowing that I could twist your head around backwards and you couldn't do much to stop it, but I chose not to. I'm being nice until there's a reason not to be. Okay, well, I don't know about all that, but I mean, yeah, being nice is just, you're choosing to be nice. This person says, bullshit, that's one way, but yes, to be a pacifist if you're a punk is not a virtue. So yes, you're right, but the other ways, how so? Being good, you're a burn thing, but have the ability and opportunity to display some type of superiority, but refraining from doing so is what it means to be nice. I mean, that's not a terrible definition. Sure, okay, to some degree. When you say he's a nice guy, you're implying that you should have no fear of him. And when you tell someone to be nice, you are telling them not to attempt to assert dominance. Yeah, sort of. You make some points there, but yeah, it's just being nice. I mean, like, how did this get into a deep debate, like what a nice person is? Like, if you don't know a nice person, then, what city are you living in? What type of people are you around? You know, it's just crazy how we've lost that. We've lost what it means to be nice. A lot of these people are like, yeah, and it's just. I feel like this is an opportunity for manipulators, Machiavellian types to come in and be like, yeah, who needs to be nice, so they can justify their messed up ways. Guys are struggling in the bias world that we live in. Absolutely, man. We're being thrown under the bus, and it's like, this is the last thing we need is like, please do be a nice person. Be a nice guy. Really, it's good. Do it. We need it. Be nice, Just because you're nice does not mean you're weak. The man who says, I bet you're weak, definitely is weak. That's not a bad point. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. The man who says, I bet you're weak, definitely is weak. Yeah, if you're out here, sizing up men, oh, well, this guy's not dominant. This guy's not assertive. He's too nice. He must be weak. Like, I think you're weak. And when it comes to the women thing too, it's like, I think that's animalistic, and I've said this a lot before, but it's animalistic for women to choose violent and manipulative men, and they're attracted to Machiavellian type men, which I understand that it's about success, right? It's about competence and producing, right? I understand that. I get that. But I view that as animalistic, because really animals are just all about, survival. It's a survival instinct. I think we're higher than survival. I think humans, if you're living in survival mode and you've allowed yourself to be overcome with that, I think that you're not living a good human life. I think humans should have a higher ideal, and I think the ideal should be humanity. And humanity is about love. It's about compassion. It's about togetherness. It's about helping others. It's about kindness. It's about sharing this world, But yeah, you got to be able to say no. You got to have a backbone. You can't let somebody walk on you or waste your time or impose or take things from you, impose upon you more than you're willing to give. Or you need to have boundaries. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you have no boundaries. Yes, be a nice person, but a man with no boundaries is not a good man. You have to have boundaries. You have to be able to put your foot down and say no. I think that to me is weakness, when somebody can't say no. That to me is weakness. But you need to say no for the right things. If somebody needs help, or if somebody's suffering and you say no, like, you're just cruel, right? You're not a good person for doing that. But if someone's like trying to take advantage of you, yeah, that's when you say no. That's when your strength comes out, right? So we need to define these things. We can't, it's a very weak argument from Jordan Peterson. This other guy is even a weaker argument. Oh, because you're not down doing charity, you're not a nice guy. It makes no sense. Yeah, it's just a weak definition of what it really is, and it's weird that it's even being brought up in that way. Why are we even talking about this? Of course, be a nice person. Of course, we all need to be nice to each other. Why is that bad? I think you're simping. I think that you're oh, this is what women want. They don't want nice guys. Well, we shouldn't be nice then, because that's not what women want. You're a simp. You're just you're playing into her hypergamy. You're playing into her animalistic ways. And if she can't be egalitarian, then don't mess with her. Why are you giving in to these type of women? Because then they're going to have kids who are just like them. And then we're just going to have a society that's all about the wrong things. We're not going to have any nice people in our society anymore because they're bred out because you keep choosing women who don't want nice guys. This woman says, I've seen it used as predatory behavior after knowing they aren't nice or a good guy. They always say that. Nice guys aren't really nice. Listen, guys want women. We want sex. We want companionship. We want intimacy. All right. What women want to do is they want to control all of that. So to them, a guy who is trying to come in and get something from them, sex or intimacy or a relationship, they're all of a sudden, quote unquote, taking from these women. Oh, he's taking from me. Therefore, he's suspect. This is why women treat men so cold, is because they have this kind of mentality where they think men want to take something from them. That's not what sex or intimacy or love or relationship is. It's not taking from the woman. It's a shared experience. That's what it is. You're both giving and you're both taking. You're both giving and you're both receiving. So it's not about men stealing from you. And that's the result of women viewing sex as a resource. That's what that is. The reason why women think like her is because they view sex and intimacy and relationships as a resource to be bartered with. And women do this. It's in their nature. I don't know why, but it is what it is. You could say it's for survival. You could say it's for whatever. You could say it's to get the best man so that the human species can survive. Whatever. I think we're all surviving. It's not about that. It's not about the next generation surviving. We're all surviving and we're doing fine. In fact, we're surviving too well. We're surviving so well that we're all slaves to one another. Right? If we were really surviving, if it was really all about the human race, rent would be free, food would be free, we'd all be together, it would be a utopia. But it's not about that. It's about, subjugation. That's what life is all about, is subjugation. And it's about pimps and hoes. There's a great notorious B.I.G. song that goes, the world is filled with pimps and hoes. That's all it is. It's just pimps and hoes. There's pimps who own the electric company. There's pimps who own your landlords are pimps. And what are you? You're the hoe. You are paying them rent. You are paying rent to the government to live on this earth. The government is pimping you out. There's no we the people. It's pay your bill or go die. That's what life is about. And everybody's doing that. So it's not about that. So women thinking that is just stupid. This isn't 1700s wilderness where you have to be able to shoot and hunt and kill game to survive and build a cabin. That's not what that is. So it's not about picking this guy who's gonna, it's about what is it really about? It's about, hey, be a good person. That's what it's really about. Now, be a quality human being, treat others well, and love your family and love your wife and love your kids. It's about love. But these women who are in this survival mode, this animalistic survival mode, is just so damaging. It's so sad. And it's transferred over. This is a lot of what Jordan Peterson talks about. Be a monster. Be a good man, but be a man who's capable of violence and capable of. It's like, sure, everyone is. Anyone. A weak person's capable of violence. A weak person's capable of hurting somebody else. It's just dumb. It's just kind of adolescent fantasy dumb thinking. Train people to love one another. Train people to treat other people well, to treat other people how they want to be treated. What does the Bible say? It says, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The golden rule, right? Be kind, be nice, This is what teachers used to. I always hear teachers say, "Be nice, be nice." Yes, be nice. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. People out here acting like, "Oh, we've emasculated our men by telling them to be nice." Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, be nice, but also maybe know how to defend yourself. Maybe know how to say no. Maybe know how to take care of your family. Maybe know how to, there's nothing wrong with any of that. But to equate niceness with weakness is just so stupid. Let's see. It's not nice and incompetent. I wish people knew how to frickin' type correctly. Spell, or not spell, but type out their thoughts in a rational way. But he's very righteous, and I don't think I've ever heard him say he was wrong. And that is not good to be around, methinks. He looks like the type that would change his mind if you present a better argument, and that's my kind of people. I don't even know what these people are talking about, because they're just such terrible writers. They're such terrible... I don't know how to put sentences together correctly. This is sad. Both of you look so weak that your only option for survival is to be nice. The only reason as to why you're spewing this crap is because you already have the respect of every man out there. You're playing with fire. Again, another word salad comment that who knows which way's up. The only reason you're spewing this crap is because you already have the respect of every man out there. I mean, I think he's talking about Jordan Peterson and the other guy. It's like, yeah, if you're already rich. I mean, Jordan Peterson is insanely rich. The guy makes so much money. So, yeah, he could just talk idealistically. He's not in the field, so to speak. He's not in the trenches. He's not out in the real world suffering, fighting. He's just a dude who lectures and hypothesizes and talks, and it's silly. Nice guys are always manipulative and passive-aggressive weaklings who love their delusional victimhood. Yeah, right. You're just a damaged hoe. You're a woman who's been used by a lot of manipulators, and so you probably never even met a nice guy because you friend zone the nice guys so that and you got manipulated or whatever. You're just a bitter woman. So sorry. Oh, because you're being nice, you're being passive aggressive. Nice versus harmless. I like that. That's not a bad. But yeah, you can be nice and also have potential to defend yourself. Doesn't mean you're not harmless just because you're nice. And I know there's that book, No More Mr. Nice Guy, right? And there's some truth to that. You can be so nice that you're a pushover. That is true. There's some truth to that. You can be so passive and so kind that you're a pushover. You don't have to be that way, though. You can be nice and not be a pushover if you just learn how to say no, learn how to have boundaries. Sorry, but you shouldn't be using... wow, so what's next? My husband was the kindest person I've ever met. What sorted him out from the fake nice guys was clear boundaries. Thank you. There you go. He was very kind about his boundaries, but he kindly enforced them. Thank you. There you go. The fact he had boundaries and respected mine made him the love of my life. There you go. It's about respect, and it's about boundaries, and it's about kindness. If you have respect, love, boundaries, and kindness, you can be a nice guy and still be successful and still be attractive to women, to some women, not all, but because many women will take your kindness for weakness. But there you go, man. That's the answer. That's the answer right there. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm getting tired. So many people, it's sad how many people are messed up just reading these comments and I hearing about this again and again over and over. And even Jordan Peterson talking about it and incorporating it into his little authoritarian ideologies and speeches and all that crap. Can't stand it. Can't stand it how nice people get thrown under the bus. It's really sad. I think it's an agenda. I think it's social engineering. I think it's, you know, it's just sad. It's all part and parcel of just this evil world, man, that you can't even be kind anymore without people thinking you're weak, or trying to manipulate other people's concepts of what being kind is. Oh, being kind isn't good. Telling kids that. Young people follow Jordan Peterson. People who are molding their futures are following this man, and he's up here saying, "Don't be nice." It's like, what a stupid thing to say. No, you can be nice, and you can be kind, and you should be. You just have to have boundaries. You have to know when to say no. You have to have backbone and the self-esteem enough to defend yourself if somebody's trying to manipulate you, or somebody's trying to use you, or somebody's trying to walk on you, etc. You got to say no. You got to put your foot down. I got boundaries. I'm a nice person, but I got boundaries. End of story. That's all it is, and that's what she says. So kudos to this woman. I'm going to end it there. Appreciate you listening, Jay Lee, Northwest Podcast. Peace.